So, baby, I was drinking my water, minding my own business, and I stumbled up something. It's this post of Melody, and I guess she talking about Miss Maritha Gray. Ain't that the woman that be over there with AL? Okay, one of his FMs. Okay, FMs. Listen. Let me read this post. It says, rebuked in the name of Jesus. Not today, Satan. Boy, I tell you, didn't I say the demons be showing out? This is why we about to go even harder today. Come into my DM, following me. So that's what the lady was doing. She was trying to get in Melody's DM. Now, you work for Anthony. So what you doing trying to bother Melody? Okay, like, dang. Okay. Girl, Melody, you in danger, girl. Don't let her record you. Okay, so come into my DM following me. Why? Oh, we about to stop this. You literally probably only have about 20 or more years of life, maybe. We still haven't learned how valuable life is. This is pathetic and why I enjoyed being off social media. So this is that post that AL was talking about that Melody made about the Maritha lady. But why is the lady in her DMs if she is up AL's behind? Okay, listen, make it make sense. Okay, so somebody comments to this and says, yep, she's a recovering addict who still smokes, eats edibles, and drinks, and claims her sobriety is one of the most important things to her while she sits on a panel with the nameless. Not the nameless. She's the one from Florida that pronounces back like bike. Ooh, I thought that was Dineva, the diva that did that. Fuck it, Dineva. Okay. Another person says, is it someone that the meters will harass because she disagreed with Melody? So another person comments to that person and says, disagreed or trolled. Mel just posted the winner of the chain. What's in it to disagree about? She came to troll her. Yeah, she was in her DMs. And she is a supporter of AL. AL hates all things Melody. So what the hell is one of his damn FMs in Mel's DMs for? Okay, listen, like, she was probably trying to get some information to her leader, honey, her cult leader, honey. So one person says, like how you and your cult are constantly harassing Melody just because she is living her life and minding her business. Another person says, it's someone who is a follower of a male content creator that hates Mel. They're talking about AL. She agrees with whatever he says. Why is she even following? I guess to give her leader content for his evil page. Another person says she's an older groupie that heavily supports the content creator that Stormy sends the $4.99 super chats to. They all are in cahoots trying to antagonize Mel. Another person says facts. Another person says, yep, that's the one of the content creators that heavily flocks to the other one who did that video in Destiny Old Home. They're all talking about AL. Another person says an old lady who DM'd Melody after Melody announced the winner of one of her mini giveaways. Just uncalled for. Did they say she's watching from the other side of the tracks? Not the other side of the tracks. Okay, another person calls out those older women on AL's panel. These old ladies need to go take a crochet class. Ooh, child, my eyes are failing me, honey. I thought that said coochie at first. I said, not a coochie class. What's that? Let's... Ooh. crochet class or volunteer to feed the homeless or something. Like, this is what you have to show for your life after all these years. Older black women who keep up mess instead of being good examples are a large part of why young ladies don't have good role models or womanhood. She's an embarrassment right along with the other loudmouth, bitter, hateful older women. It's sad to watch. Another person says they love them some Melody. Another person says yet another mammy that has been stalking Mel for years, mad because they wish their daughters were like Mel. I honestly think she has decompensated. For a 60-year-old woman to be obsessed with Mel is disturbing. Yeah, what was she up in her DMs for? Okay. Child, another person dragging Stormy, talking about, I am baffled that Stormy always screaming how folks don't have enough money to comfort her, but she just got hit with another lien, this one from the IRS for approximately $30,000. Tisha might have been onto something when she said Stormy don't pay people. Latifah don't pay people too. That's the pot calling the kettle black. Shit. Honestly. Child, another person calling out Marceau and Tisha's marriage. Imagine being a married single mom. Not a married single mom, honey. Watching your husband constantly talk about the woman he's obsessed with on national TV. To add insult to injury, he gets praised for providing a fake counseling session about being a good husband and father. Tisha, you've protected a man who gets more support than you. I've never seen a marriage where a man is so content with dimming his wife's light to make himself look good. He uses his wife as the sacrificial lamb to become popular. Tisha has faced more scrutiny than anyone on that show. Most of it is orchestrated by her own husband. Ooh, child. Yet she says the mellometers are villains. Now that was a read, honey. That was good. What y'all think of that? That was a good one. So a person comments to that post and says, I think Tisha's self-esteem is so low that when he berates her, she just absorbs it. Her body language says it all. Her shoulders slump, her head and eyes fall, and she is instantly crying. Not her biggest fan, but I hate that for her. So many times I have wished I was in the room when that bald-headed man starts running his mouth. In other news, honey, I keep watching that video of Kiki uncle cussing out Marceau, Miss Wanda, and Tisha, honey. He said that sorry ass son-in-law, that bullshit ass daughter you got. But honey, they is still investigating Kiki's death. Y'all remember, it was reported that she had died in the car. And people are commenting on it, saying they are investigating because of what the uncle said. He basically insinuated that she committed suicide. Y'all remember Doniva was using that same narrative, saying she offed herself. There's so many different stories out here. From she offed herself, she died from the carbon monoxide poisoning. It's so much different stuff out here. Then we heard some narrative about she died amongst family, child, make it make sense. OWN does not have anything to do with her death. They need to quit pointing fingers. So somebody says, I always was told if a person commits suicide within the 2-year clause, the insurance will not pay. But if the policy been in force over 2+ years and someone commits, it will pay. If Kiki had the policy less than 2 years, the insurance will only pay back the premiums. I pray that did not happen. And then that's another thing we learned. They was kind of struggling and scrambling for money to, have her funeral. Another person says, after watching AL's recent video about what happened in Houston, I would say that OWN and Kingdom Reign need to be worried. Her uncle is in his feelings, and he posted and made a video placing blame and never watched the show. That's going to play a big part in the investigation because you can't blame anyone for her sleeping in the car. Another person says, it was said that Kiki was at her sister's home before she went home. It would be interesting to know what they talked about that night. Another person says, well, the uncle pretty much said it took months of family talking to her after she left the show. It's really sad. So y'all remember he was coming out and kind of blaming the cast for, how they treated her. Another person says, sounds like the insurance company is being shady and doesn't want to pay out. Another person says, if her exhaust pipe was leaking or damaged, it could happen by accident. That stuff is strong. It happened to my dad's car. Another person says, so sad. That family probably need the money. Another person says, I just went through all of this dealing with the insurance company and my daughter being unalived by her baby father. Oh my God, that's so sad. The insurance companies only get involved when the autopsy or death certificate says something that is a cause for investigation, like signs of bruising, broken bones, etc. We really don't know much about what happened, only what was told to us. Oh, that is sad. Another person says life insurance has disclosures in the policy that exclude play out for certain circumstances. It's important to know your policy. Wanda and the uncle should have just stayed out of it and let her husband speak for her. The things being said will trigger investigations. It's sad all over. Yeah, it is. Another person says, was the car running when he found her? Was she in the garage with the door closed? Another person says, this is why you should wait for an autopsy. I know there are many people whose first thought was, yep, she died from an OD. Her uncle was one. Yes, he may have thought that only because of the way she was being disrespected by her family and certain cast members. I'm not going to waste my time speaking on the W, period. Blessings to her husband and children. Another person says, for reasons like this is why nobody should have put out a statement about her death. Kiki had a husband, and he should have been the only one to make a statement when he was ready. Another person says, I feel like the uncle should have kept his mouth shut and not speculate on what he doesn't know to be factual. All he did was hold up the money process, because even if it was drugs, the toxicology said carbon monoxide, and I honestly believe it was an accident. Another person says more than likely her insurance policy is less than 2 years old. Most policies have a certain number of years that the insurance company is required to investigate prior to issuing funds if you die within that window. What y'all think about that? Another person says, last I remember, Kiki pushed herself on the show and used Tisha's private business to get a place on the show. She also used her own history to maintain a spot on the show. No one to blame but her desire for fame. I don't think she expected it to go like this, though. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about all of this, and I will check you guys out in the next video.